Well, hello, it's Wednesday and it must be time for Woolly Hat's Wednesday Whips. I'm on handheld today because I have temporarily lost my little podium, my little tripod. So anyway, here we are back in the champagne room with the tropical plants, but unfortunately not tropical weather, and which means I can wear my new jumper. Here it is. This is my sports sweater by Annabelle Fox from the #1 Rowan catalogue, and from the mid-80s. And it's absolutely gorgeous. I really love it. So you've got the nice detail at the top where you've cast off the top and the back, the front and the back together, which gives a nice little ridge. The rib, I don't know whether you can see, there we are, it's got a twisted rib, so that gives a nice little feature as well. And it's knitted slightly different. I don't know, I'll stand up and you can see. So it's narrower down at the bottom, but more, and you increase as you go up, which means there's lots of room at the top, which is good for those of us who've got a larger bosom. The other thing was that you knit the sleeves from this seam here down to the cuff. So the only sewing you have to do is the side seams, which for those who don't like sewing is great, but for those who don't like picking up and knitting, not so good, but I don't mind. So that was quite good. So that was my jumper, and I've been wearing it ever since I finished it last Friday, which is fab, and sheltering from the rain. Although I did have a nice time out yesterday in the garden and have been down the allotment, but my little greenhouse is full of plants waiting to go out, and it's just been so cold I didn't want to put them out and freeze them. So anyway, hoping to get that out sooner or later. What else have I been doing? Well, you remember last week I was knitting this on the beach at Quay in the sunshine before the storms came. This is my afterthought heel sock, so that's one sock finished. So you've got the elongated stitch there on the front and a twisted stitch on the back, and then the foot is plain. And you can see where that purple bit is, that's where the heel's going to go. So I'm going to take that thread out and then do a heel using the same technique as making the toe, which is doing SSK and knitting two together at the bits. So Mr. W said, are you going to do the heels after you finished it, or are you going to save them up to do them when you finish both? So I've decided that I'm going to knit both socks and then do the heels together. So I'll show you about that later. So great little projects for sitting on the beach and doing it. It was fab doing that last week, so really enjoyed that. So what else I've been doing? I have been unpicking a jumper. Actually, it's a cardigan I knitted for Mr. W quite a few years ago now. This is Rowan double knit cotton. It's very nice and soft, actually, lovely for the summer. But I had knitted him something which doesn't fit him anymore because Mr. W has slimmed down somewhat over the last few years, and so he wanted something else. So I thought, well, there's no point throwing it away or taking it to charity shop. So I spent an evening unpicking it, and with cotton that's not too bad. You wouldn't be able to do it with mohair because that all knits together. So I've got several balls of this, and I thought I'd knit Mr. W that cardigan there with the zip. So, and of course he'll look as young and athletic as that when he wears it as well. So that's something to think about. The other thing I was thinking about, because obviously when you finish one project you've got to think about others. I've still got my crochet blanket that I'm doing, but I did have some kid silk haze left over from an earlier project. I was trying different colours in the lockdown. It was quite difficult to test colours, so I bought several. So I thought, what can I do with this? And I found in my brioche knitting book, Knitting Fresh Brioche, this nice wrap, and I thought that would be quite nice to do using those two colours there. So I might have a go at that. So I'm just thinking about that now. I'm putting mohair all over the place. There's some possible future projects, and but we mustn't go ahead of ourselves. I'm determined to finish what I've got now, so my socks and my blanket. And obviously I've got a bank holiday weekend coming up. We're going down to Welshpool and some friends are coming to see us there. So I'll be working, I think, on my crochet blanket. So hopefully I'll make a lot of progress there. And of course we have a wool shop in Welshpool. So if you're ever visiting Welshpool, there's a nice little wool shop that's quite well stocked. So might have a look around there as well. So I think that's all for me at the moment. Don't forget I've got my autumn classes on the website and for you to have a look at. And if you book before the end of June, you get a 10% discount. And hopefully some of you will like that. And I will be putting some workshops up. I've just seen a magpie in the garden. Workshops up for you to have a look at, but I've got to confirm the dates with the church, so I'll let you know as soon as I have that. So I think that's all for me today. Have a wonderful bank holiday weekend. Do show us your projects and what you're up to, and I'll see you next week.